Hey, what up, BGK gang? This is Andre of Big Gemini Kennels, aka BGK. Welcome back. Smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, drop a comment, let us know what you're thinking. Make sure you hit that alert notification so you're notified every time we drop new content, and that's going to be frequently because we came to drop bombs. Beast mode. Hey, what up? So today, Dre BGK is here to hit you with a story time. Let's get ready for a BGK story time. The time that I went to sell a dog to a married couple and the wife flipped out on the spot and told her husband, hell no. And he still tried to buy the dog anyway. It went crazy. Yeah, that happened. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Andre BGK, right back at you with another banger. Yeah, today's story time is going to be a little bit different, man. We've been doing a lot of serious topics, so I figured I'd lighten the load a little bit, lighten the mood a little bit, I should say, and give y'all something a little funny. Today's story time is about the time when I went to give a married couple a dog, and they want to kind of decide on the spot. They want to meet with me and decide if they wanted the dog on the spot. The man was all for it. The male was all for it. I'm not going to say their names because they became really good friends with me, and I'm not the type to try to say anything that I would want my clients to be ashamed of. But the story is really funny. So to lighten the mood a little bit, I mean, the last story was kind of serious. But anyway, in this story today, I'll start it off like this. So I was meeting this gentleman. He at first wanted to buy a puppy from my Rebel litter. Rebel was my dog that unfortunately passed during the C-section. The vet screwed up the operation and killed my dog. If you haven't seen that video, check that video out. But anyway, he bought one of the puppies from that litter, and he got a female from that litter. She's a real go-getter, a real serious girl. So he wanted to come back and get a boy to go with that girl that he had got from us because he liked the girl so much. Now, he works a lot, and his wife helps a lot with taking care of the dogs, and they also have children. So you have to take that into consideration. And like I always say, go get the wifey's opinion. Go get the wifey's stamp of accommodation. Go get the wifey's approval. I know people don't like to act like they have to ask their wife for something, but you have to talk to your wife because without her, things might not work out. You know how that goes. But anyway, so he had got this female. They're loving the female. They said she was a little bit aggressive, which is kind of funny because Rebel was really kind of chill, and I didn't expect that to come out of her. So here we are. He's talking to me. He's asking to see what my young adult males look like that I have currently available, and I showed him this male, which I'm not going to say any names because that would identify them, obviously, right? But I showed him this male that was a really nice boy, big blue boy, beautiful though, beautiful boy, and he had a really good temperament, and I knew this. He's a young adult, right around a year, but you got to imagine, I breed huge XL American Bullies, so when my dogs are a year old, they probably look like a 3 or 4 year old dog from another kennel. Not even probably. They probably look bigger than a 3 or 4 year old dog from another kennel. So if you're seeing this dog, and I'm telling you that this is a puppy, he has a lot of growing to do, he's still ready to bond with the family, and you don't know my dogs, you might assume that this dog is so huge, he's going to be aggressive to me, he's going to be aggressive to my family, what have you. So I told him this is what we should do. How about we meet at the park? There's a really nice park in Granada Hills, and matter of fact, it's the largest, most beautiful park in LA. Let's go ahead and meet over there. I'll bring the male so you and your wife can see him on the spot. Now, normally what I do is I would have somebody pay a deposit, do a contract, and then if they want to purchase this dog and they want to see it in person, they do. We meet in person, and then they can go ahead and pick up their dog, and we'll go from there. But because he is a returning client that's already purchased a female from me, I figured, hey, what's the big deal? Let's meet up in person. We don't need a contract. We'll do a contract afterwards. I just want you to see this male. I want your wife to see this male. I want her to get on board because she was really like, I don't know if I want another dog. I already have to take care of one dog. It's a lot taking care of one dog already. And now you want to get a big male? I don't know. Now he's gung-ho like, no, we're getting this dog. Don't worry about it. We're getting this dog. Interesting situation. So short story shorter, we pull up to the park. I pull up with the male. They pull up with the female that I hadn't seen in a while. And you know what? I couldn't believe it, man. This little girl from Rebel was so cocky. He pulled her out first. And there's other dogs walking around at this park, and she's pulling him over to all the other dogs. Any dog she sees, she's like being aggressive. So I'm thinking that's one of the things that might have affected his wife, is her already seeing that this dog that she has for me has a little bit of fire in her. Well, more than a little bit of fire in her. Because I was like, why do y'all have a shot collar on this puppy? Because she's only like 4 months old, 5 months old, right? She's a baby. And she's charging around this park trying to like check every dog she sees. So anyway, my cousin came with me. We go ahead and we pull out the blue boy so he can see him. Now this is a big blue boy. He's probably sitting about 120 pounds at this point, but he's still a puppy. He's barely a year old. He's a puppy, right? So we pull out this big blue boy, and my guy, he's excited. Like, oh man, he's even better than the pictures. That's a beautiful blue boy. And the wife is kind of standoffish. Like, she's not even coming over to where the dog is. She's standing over there with her arm crossed, kind of looking at the dog like, But he's excited. He's playing with the dog. He's interacting with the dog. He's introducing his puppy to my dog, to what's about to be his dog in his mind. And she's still standoffish, right? And all of a sudden, to make things worse, this blue boy that we brought to show him, this young pup, is so strong, he just snaps the leash. And as he snaps the leash, he runs over towards the wife. The wife looked like she's about to take up off, and I'm running over there to grab him like, oh man, I can't believe this is happening. The leash just snapped on me. So I'm trying to grab the blue boy. He's still running. I finally catch up to him. I catch him. He breaks free again, runs to the other side of the park. He's not trying to hurt anybody. He's just happy running around being a big puppy. So I caught up to him again. Luckily, I had an extra leash in my truck. So my cousin ran to the truck, got my extra leash. We put it around him. And at that point, he's like, I need to talk to my wife. I want this boy. There's no question. Like, mind you, the whole time I'm communicating mostly with him. She's there, but she's standing over there. She has never touched this dog, never petted this dog. Multiple times the husband tried to get her, come on honey, pet the dog. Come on honey, see the dog. Hey, let him lick your hand. She's I'm good. She ain't having it. Right? So now he comes over to me and he's like, I think I want this dog, man. I want this dog. This is a beautiful blue boy. I could tell he's still a puppy. The wife is not feeling it, but I think I want this dog. So now they're Armenian. Both of them are Armenian. And even though every time they speak to each other, it's in Armenian, I can't understand Armenian. I speak English. I speak a little Spanish, but I definitely don't speak Armenian. I can tell that their interaction is kind of tense. They're going back and forth at each other, and it's not like, yeah, honey, let's do this. I'm excited. There is some, I don't want to try to imitate their accent because I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm just trying to say that you can understand that there's some tension there. You know what I mean? So, I don't know exactly what's being said, but he comes back over to me, and he's like, I'm definitely going to get this dog, man. And I'm like, hold up. You're telling me you're going to get this dog. I don't know what your wife is saying, but she don't look like she wants to get this dog, man. Like, are you sure this is what you want to do? Like, I told you his temperament is good. You can see his temperament is good. Matter of fact, your female is probably going to boss him around because she is a cocky little bitch. But he's really solid, really laid back, really cool temperament, always been dog friendly. So they'll be fine. He's like, it's not just that. He's like, I work a lot. Yeah, I make a lot of money, but my wife is home a lot and she's going to have to deal with him. I'm like, I get it. So he's like, well, let me go talk to my wife. Now, this is where the conversation got really interesting. He goes back over to his wife and she's sitting there the whole time like this. Whatever she's saying is angry and it sounds like no. Matter of fact, let's be clear. That's the one word that I did that's the one word that I did understand that I heard from her multiple times was no. 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 And he's talking in the explaining tone. I don't know what he's saying, but clearly he's trying to converse with his wife and get her to go for it. And she abruptly ends the conversation and walks back to the truck because we're in a park. We're near the parking lot of this park, right? She goes right back and sits in their truck. They're in like a really big pickup truck, the kind of pickup truck that has 4 doors and then a big cargo section in the back, right? So after she goes back to the truck, now it's just us men standing there. It's my cousin, myself, and him. He still has the puppy right there. I still have the big blue boy right there. And I'm like, you know what? I guess it's not going to work out. No stress, man. Maybe I can get a younger pup for you later on and you can get. He's like, no, this is the dog for me. I'm like, I didn't fully understand what your wife said to you, but I heard no. And I know it no mean, bro. He's like, I'm going to get this dog. I am going to get this dog. And man, this is where things got serious. I'm like, okay, all right, if you want this dog, he's like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take this dog, we're going to put it in the truck, and then you'll follow me to the bank, and then I'll give you the money for the dog. Which I was never worried about the money with him. He's a great guy, solid guy. I knew he was going to pay if he wanted the dog, and there was no pressure. But he had made up his mind. Clearly he had made up his mind, and clearly his wife had made up his mind. So this is where the tension comes in. This is where they're about to butt heads, because I forgot to mention this part. When she walked back to the truck, I can't say she was crying, but she looked very upset. Like, not crying like boo-hooing. I mean like tears of anger or somebody she looked pissed. Bottom line, she looked pissed. So she had walked back to the truck, got in the passenger side and shut the door. And I'm like, are you sure? He was like, yeah, I'm going to take this dog. So he walks over to the truck. He takes his puppy. He puts his puppy in, and he walks back over to where I am. I go, so what do you want me to do? He's like, well, bring the dog over to the truck so I can load it. Now, as we walk over to the truck, I mean, this felt like the walk of death. this felt like the walk of death. I felt like we was walking death row. Like, this must be what it feels like when you know it's your time, because the closer we got to the truck, I see her staring out the window at us. Like, what the hell are they approaching my truck for, right? And then when we're right next to the truck with the dog, she's really staring at us with this, like, I mean, if looks could kill, I wouldn't be here to tell this story. For real. So she's staring at us in that manner. And then he opens the truck up, the back of the truck, the cab, or whatever you want to call it. Like, there's 4 doors for this pickup. He opens the back, and he's trying to stuff this big dog in there, and they're exchanging words at the same time. And it's not good words. It's they're getting at each other. And me and my cousin are looking at each other like, oh, shit. I can't believe this is happening, right? So, bottom line, he's stuffing this big dog in the truck, and this dog is so big, he barely even fits in the truck. So I know that she's not feeling that. He just stuffed the dog that she didn't want, this huge XL American Bully, right next to her, right? And then he gets out the truck and he looks at me. And I go, man, I don't want to be inside that truck with you. He's like, yeah, it's going to be a long ride home. Hey, that's my man. That's my guy. I have to salute him, man. That is a bold man. I mean, that was balls of steel right there. I think a lot of men would have crumpled under the pressure of the wife going at him like that. Matter of fact, I've seen it. I've seen a lot of men crumple where they were about to make that purchase, and they're like, well, the wife just is not having it. I really wanted the dog. And I let that go because I understand. You got to live with her. You don't got to live with me. You got to live with her. You got to live with that dog. She's got to take care of that dog. I get it. But hey, I was like, hey man, it's going to be a bad ride, but okay. He's like, well, follow me to the bank. So he gets in the truck. I get in my truck behind him, and me and my cousin are talking. I was like, what do you think's being said in that truck right now? My cousin's like, nothing good. Nothing good. I was like, he must be making her a promise. He must be buying her a purse, a ring, a shopping spree, some items for the house, a new kitchen. He's making a compromise right now, man, because you could tell he loved his wife. Let me be clear, like, never once did he give off the aura of somebody that was trying to disrespect his wife. He seemed like somebody that takes great care of his wife, but he just really, really wanted this item. You know, like when you really want this toy or this dog or that car, he was in that space. But he was not in a space where he came across like he was trying to disrespect his wife or be foul to his wife in any way. But regardless, she's not feeling it, right? So we get all the way over to the bank and we park. He parks the truck. He parks. I park right next to him. And she's just staring over at her car. And hey, you ever put up next to somebody at the light and they just cut you off and you've been blowing a horn at them the whole time and they finally get next to you and they can tell that you're not the person to mess with, so they do that. I don't see you. I don't see you right now. You're not there. I know you're staring at me and blowing the horn, but I'm not going to look. That's what I was doing, because she was like, hey, this is the funny part. I'm usually the guy that's staring in the other car and somebody else is punking out like, no, I don't want to look at this guy because I might get my ass beat. That was me. That was me in the situation. She's staring into our car and I'm looking for like, man, please hurry up with this cash. Please hurry up with this cash. Please hurry up. I don't want her to come over here and stuff the dog in my car or come yelling at me behind what y'all got going. So, short story shorter, he comes out of the bank. He has the envelope with the cash. He gives it to me, and I'm like, Good luck, bro. Stay strong. Stay BGK strong. And he know I'm in it, man. But the funniest part is the way that this ends. Is recently when I spoke to him, he was like, man, she loves that dog. That dog is bonded with her. I mean, I can't, that's her dog. She's taking over that dog. I love that dog to death, but at this point, I don't have the control of that dog anymore. He listens to her. He stays with her. It's probably because I'm gone at work so much. I'm out of town so much. But I can tell you right now, she owns that dog. She loves that dog. I can't separate her from that dog. So at the end of the day, everything worked out. That dog is extremely protective of her, which is good because like I said earlier, he's gone a lot. He's at work a lot. He's a workaholic. He's making sure he's taking care of his family. And he has a big blue boy at home that's protecting her, making sure she's safe, and she loves him to death. And things have worked out tremendously. So that story ended well. But I had to say, man, those were some tense moments. So once again, I've said this in other stories. I'm going to say it again. Get the wife's approval before you come saying you're going to get this dog. Because most stories don't work out like this. And our wife ends up, I told you. And you don't want that to happen to you. And I don't want it to happen to you. So go ahead and talk to your significant other and get her approval before you come get a dog from BGK.